Hello everyone and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. My name is DFree. Here today we're going to take a look at the brand new cooler and co-cards that are coming out in the game. If you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that subscribe if you are new for more content. It is that time again where we have some news. Now, as far as this is concerned, the super attacks, I've seen them already. They look incredible, so we're going to watch those as well. But we do have translations courtesy of Goresh here as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they say here first, and also take a look at the cards. So we have Cooler's Armored Squadron, all in one card. That's pretty dope. I like that. I like that a lot. They could have easily took the opportunity and made these like individual cards. I wouldn't have minded that too much either, I guess. But I do like this. This is cool. Okay, so here we are. Let's see what they say. Brilliant Guard, Southern Kura, Armored Squadron, UR status pre-release. The more allies in the Conquest of Terror category, the higher their attack and defense. In addition, if a specified character is on the team, it will also always trigger 2 additional attacks and sometimes a special move. Its special moves will lower the enemy's attack and defense. Well, dang, man, we've already got the full translation right there. No, there's a lot more to it. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So here we have the brand new transforming Cooler. Cooler getting a lot of love right now. So Buchigiri dropped the Cooler card like a month and a half ago. This game's doing it, and then also Legends is doing it like probably around like the same time as this actually. Like, Cooler's getting a lot of love out of nowhere. And also, Cooler's going to be getting a Dragon Ball Heroes card, too. Like, so I never really covered that. There's just stuff like that I miss out on now because I'm just always, like, really, really tired. But no excuses. So yeah, Cooler's getting a lot of love. So here we are with the new Cooler. Absolute Ultimate Power. Kura, UR status pre-release. Strengthen the Conquest of Terror and enhance transformation categories with leader skills. So yeah, a lot of people expected him to be enhanced transformation or transformation boost leader. So since that's the case, I'm assuming he all but just completely replaces the Super Buu as the best leader, because Super Buu in and of himself is just an card. I used him in a video recently, and I was just like, you know what, his transformation takes a while. It's RNG based which one you'll get. Sometimes this one or that one will be better. But on top of that, well, it's dependent on your HP. But on top of that, he does nothing. He debuffs attack, which is cool, but he has 80% attack and defense at the start of the turn. That's it. Nothing else. Furthermore, it transforms into Kura Final Form with active skill. Thank you. Let's hit the enemy with the overwhelming power, and that ultimate transformation evokes. So we have the super attack. We're going to check that out afterwards. Let's go ahead and take a look at the full-on translations from Goresh. So he says here, Conquest of Terror or Transformation Boost category, 3 key and 170% to attack and defense alongside 130% to HP. So I believe Super Buu is 150 across the board. So if you want to run that, you can still do so, right? And also not coming from the perspective that not everybody owns everything anyway, or will pull for Cooler, yada yada. Just from a general sense. But one thing that's kind of really underrated is that the 130 HP versus 170 to the other stats splits. So like this type of split that this Cooler has, 130 HP, 170 to attack and defense, versus like 170 to HP and attack, but 130 to defense. So you have basically the way that breaks down is this is really good. The way it is really good because why? You don't lose any offense. You're still at 170, which is really good in relation to that HP and attack 170 split that I think SS4 LR Goku has. Anyways. But the thing is, the defense being higher is more important than the HP being higher. The reason why is because if you have X amount of HP but you can't tank a hit, it doesn't matter, right? It's just fluff. It does matter, but it's not as important as having more defense, so you take a lot less damage, if that makes sense. So very good split here. So he does immense damage and lowers the attack and defense of the enemy. That's going to be pretty good in the events where it's applicable. Obviously, a lot of events not going to be, but still really nice in general to have as an option for him. So the passive is 100% attack and defense at the start of the turn. Already better than Super Buu. Already. Nothing else. Just already. Transformation Boost category allies. Oh, you're doing this. Transformation Boost category allies get 2 key and 30% attack and defense if there is one enemy. Okay, so that's what? 90% of the game? If there's one enemy, you get 2 key and 30%, which also does apply to himself, of course. So every unit on your team from Transformation Boost. And Transformation Boost is actually a stacked category. Pretty much every transforming card is in Transformation Boost, and that applies to like all the DOKKANFEST pretty much. There's very few that are like top tier cards that are not actually in Transformation Boost at this point. Like there's a lot of good units there, so that's nice to see. And that also does help shore up the deficiency with links, as far as like how this Cooler would link up with other non-Conquest of Terror or whatever like type of allies on his team. So other than that though, Conquest of Terror category allies get 2 key and 2 key and 50. Oh, if there's 2 or more enemies. Oh, so he covers everything. Nice. Nice. Okay, so all right. So he can flip-flop, which is actually really good versatility. So links are strongest clan in space, thirst for conquest, big bad bosses, brutal beatdown, metamorphosis, universe's most malevolent and fierce battle. His transformation is via active skill. This is the one really big gripe I had with and a lot of people actually did, with the previous Dokkanfest on the Japanese version, the Into Future Gohan. If he had the ability to time his transformation, his pre-transformation would have a lot more value than it otherwise does, right? So being active skill is just always going to be better because you can do it when you want. Able to be used starting from the 3rd turn if there's a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan category enemy, or once 6 turns have passed if there's one enemy once only. Oh, wow. So, okay, so versus most Dokkan events in the game, most events in general, he's going to be able to get a 3rd turn transformation. And the thing about pure Saiyan requirements is it's always going to be relevant. Like, that's why Kalen, Caulifla, those cards, like, that's nuts, man. Getting pure Saiyans as a requirement, that's always going to be relevant. Not only that, though, he has hybrid Saiyans, which isn't anywhere near as relevant, but is going to be relevant for a good bit of time, obviously. We'll continue to get those periodically. In fact, we, again, just got one, so there's that. But even if you're not versus those, you still can transform once 6 turns have passed if there's one enemy. And again, pretty much every event in the game ends on one enemy, right? Other than that, I mean, like, Super Battle Road sometimes going to be hit or miss. But even then, if you've defeated, like, there's multiple out there. If you defeated 2 and there's 1 left, or you've defeated 1 and there's 1 left, you get my point. He'd be able to transform. So the one enemy requirements are really good. So other than that, the categories are Conquest of Terror, Movie Bosses, Transformation Boost, and Wicked Bloodline. He's also going to be a sneaky good unit on Movie Bosses for characters that are also in Transformation Boost or Conquest of Terror that are also in Movie Bosses. He'll be able to support them in various ways. So he's really good on Transformed regardless. So let's go ahead and take a look at the post-transformation. Also, he's an STR type. I didn't even catch that. So STR type cooler. Pretty cool. All right. So pun intended, I guess. All right. So let's move on to the next one here. So super attack, raises attack and causes miss damage and greatly lowers defense. Okay. So he stacks attack indefinitely and greatly lowers defense. That is AKA destroy legendary Goku event. Especially because Goku would be a pure Saiyan. It's funny how everything comes full circle to that event. It's really funny how that happens. And eventually we'll get more, so it's still going to be really good, but like this, he'll be able to transform from the 3rd turn versus the Goku. He'll be able to raise attack limitlessly and also lower defense at a great clip. So greatly lowering defense is actually really relevant. Great and massive in particular are incredible here, because the way that the Goku event works is most events in the game, sans like Broly events, 99%, and this is not a joke, 99% of the events in the game have damage mitigation, so defense reduction is worthless. This event in particular, you can actually debuff the enemy's defense and it actually be useful for you. And same goes for Broly. Like, Broly has a super shield, for example. If you lower his defense, you can deal with him. That's why people were using that SR Guldo for the most part, because he reduced the enemy's defense to 0. Same applies to this UI Goku. So you can really damage him. And that's why, like, if you ever take, like, counter hit units in there, if they don't get a crit or if the enemy's defense hasn't been debuffed, they only do, like, triple-digit damage in most cases, right? So that's kind of what we're working with here. So Cooler's incredible. So moving on, though, passive is Ki +3 and 180 freaking %. My God. Self-sufficiency and 180%. So he's another unit. Okay, so I'd be remiss to mention that I hate when this happens, and I did the same with Gohan. But Gohan, again, doesn't have the luxury of an active skill. That's the point. Active skill. The ability to switch between being a support unit and an offensive unit, right? Because he's no longer a support unit anymore. And he can control that. That's what I was talking about. Like, I really like that Gohan, but if you could control it, he'd be X times a million better to me. So he turns into 180%. Perform an additional attack with a which has, a medium chance to become a super attack. Okay. Perform a critical hit if there's a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. So not only does he reduce, okay, so let me say this. He reduces their defense, which is great for the Goku event in particular. Various events, I guess, at this point. A handful of them. It's really good versus. But he stacks attack limitlessly. He'll be able to tank hits because he's got 180 freaking defense up. Not to mention 170% defense boost on the leader skill. Again, we circle back to that being very relevant. And then he also can bypass defense with a critical hit versus pure or hybrid Saiyan enemies. He'll always critical hit. It doesn't say only once, so like everything he does will always be a crit, I think. And he can do up to 3 super attacks when you factor in the potential system. This cooler's actually nuts. He is he's quite good. They really showed their asses on this one, man. This is a really good card. Oh my god. He's gonna be very, and we need to see that category. But either way, he still is a double category lead for transformation boost, which I already talked about is really good. Wow. All right, let's take a look at Salza and Cooler's Armored Squadron. So 3 key and 120 to Conquest of Terror. The super attack lowers the enemy's attack and defense with supreme damage. Passive skill, true power of the Armored Squadron. Attack and defense plus 30% for every Conquest of Terror category ally. If there's an ally whose name contains Cooler, excluding Cooler's Armored Squadron. So yes, that basically means you need to run a Cooler on your team, not just this card. Perform 2 additional attacks, which have a low chance of becoming super attack. Low chance, so it's going to be very unlikely. I assume that's like, what, 10%, 15%? But still, 2 additional attacks, pretty nice. Meaning they can get up to 4 super attacks in 1 turn. And they also lower attack. If they stacked attack and defense, you know how nuts this card would be. Oh my god. Even though it's all RNG, man, it'd be about as likely as physical Vegito Blue. I think he has a 15% chance to turn his additional supers into super attack, or his additional attacks into supers. So links are Armor Squadron, Underling, Loyalty, Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, Brainiacs, and Fierce Battle. This card actually doesn't link particularly well. No, because Frieza has all the Cooler has, all the Frieza links. This unit has all these Cooler specific links that are going to be worthless in the long run. Loyalty is decent. Cold Judgment's actually really good defensive link. Shocking Speed is very splashable. Obviously, Fierce Battle. Brainiacs is spotty, but it works. Unit's going to be on Joined Forces. Joined Forces is actually a really good category for this card as far as the links are concerned, but bad category for the passive. I'm not anywhere near as impressed with this card as I have been with some of the other, like, on the DokkanFest banner releases, like the second units that are on there. But this card's not bad. Like, for example, I don't know. There's a lot of them that come out. Like, last time it was, what, the Trunks? Tech Trunks? I don't remember exactly what he does, but I remember being pretty impressed with him. And there's always, like, 1 or 2 cards that come out alongside these DokkanFest units, pretty much. So, there's also going to be a Tech Cooler coming from the story event revamp, and he gives 40% attack and defense, and a support category. Conquest of Terror category allies get 2 key and 30%. That free Cooler is going to be pretty good, apparently. So, all right. Let's go take a look at the super attacks. That's where we're going to go and end this off. I've actually got the music in the background, so I'll actually save that for later because I want to hear the OST in the video anyway. This looks really good. It's spot on so far. And one thing I really like about this is how it's again, it's just a spot on recreation of the movie. Like everything, even the scenery, spot on. That's the pre-transformation. Of course, here's his transformation active skill. I like this. It looks really clean. I like the waterfall and all that. Again, from the movie, but still, it looks still really clean. Okay, so there's only one gripe I have with Dokkan super attacks now, and that's it right there. They look gorgeous, but they've got to stop using these sprites. They just look ugly. They've got to do something about that. This doesn't. What is this quality? It's like the difference in quality is insane. Not Goku being blurry, but the actual quality of the images, the sprites that they use. That's the only problem I have. But like, this is gorgeous. I think that's fair to say, though, because it just doesn't fit too well. They need to redo the sprites. Like this. Look, that doesn't look so great. But it would, you know, the reason why they won't do it, they won't redo those, is because it would require a lot more work, for one, and they'd have to basically recreate sprites for each individual character to be in that exact sequence, and it would take too long. But I wish they would, because that just doesn't look so great. But the cooler part of this looks great. They did a great job on all this other stuff, though. This is all really good. And this is not specific to the cooler. It's just all the super attacks that they all use this enemy sprite like that. So, and it just doesn't look so great because it's from when the game came out, right? Anyways, yeah, Cooler is actually phenomenal. I think he's worth summoning for. Later today, we should have the day to download where we'll see his information. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe if you're new for more content. And I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.